Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today these are the peyote stitch earrings that I will be making using the Treasure Edition from Potomac Bead Company for May 2024. After that, I will be reviewing all of the patterns that came in the kit edition. And if you are interested in the Potomac Bead Company, either the kit edition or the Treasure Edition, or like me, you're interested in both, I will have all the information in the description box below. I definitely encourage you to go check them out. Not only do they have amazing bead boxes, they also have a fantastic website that has just about anything you can need for the jewelry making hobby. So if you would like to see how these earrings came about and what my thoughts are on these patterns, then stay tuned. I'm going to start with the tools that I will be using. I have one set of cutters, one thread zap 2, and one size 10 beading needle. And I want to briefly mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set, and as the name suggests, this is by far the most comfortable tool set that I have found. And the biggest thing for me is the size. A lot of times, for whatever reason, jewelry making tools will be like this, just a little bit smaller. You can see the grips are quite a bit smaller as well. But these Casual Comfort tools, they're just high quality, they're well made, and they seem to be made for adult size hands. So I will have this tool set linked down below, along with everything else I use in the video that did not come from the bead box. I am also using 8-pound Fireline, and it's going to be in the color Smoke, which is this black color. And I usually get the 125 yards just because I go through it so quickly. And I already have one of the earrings made, and here it is. I absolutely love the Treasure Edition from Potomac, and just about everything that is in here came from the treasure box, and I just think it came out so cute. That's what it looks like on the back. So now we're going to make the matching one together. I will also link below the opening video I did for the Treasure Edition, so it will have a detailed description of everything that I'm using that came from the Treasure Edition. So I'm going to start off with these Super Duos and the 8/0 seed beads that came in there. And the Super Duos, if you see there, they're rounded on one side and flat on the other. So just to make sure I get them all in the right way, I'm going to line up 6 of them with the flat side down. All right, there we go. So I have 6 of them lined up, and as you can see with this metallic mix of these Super Duos, I just have a variety of the colors. I like it that way. So I'm gonna go every other one with an 8/0 and a Super Duo. So this is what it should look like so far. You have 6 8/0 seed beads, every other one with 6 Super Duos. And I'm gonna pull this all the way to the bottom. And you only have to give yourself enough of a tail to make a knot. So right now I'm gonna hold it separated just like this, and I'm gonna go through all of them again. Just like that, pull it through. And just like that, you wanna pull it where they come around in a circle. And once you get that in a circle, I'm just gonna tie it right there in a knot. And pull it through. Go one more time, over under, just a regular knot. Just like that. Now I'm gonna take the tail, get as close as I can with my cutters, cut that off. Now with that little nub there, I'm gonna go in with my thread zap 2, push the button, and melt that down a little bit, just like that. So now this is what you should have. You have kind of a circle shape, and I'm gonna go through, so that I'm not coming right there out of the knot, I'm gonna go through that next 8/0, through the next Super Duo, through the next 8/0, and I want to be coming out of the 8/0. And from my own stash, I had these kind of metallic colored 11/0s that really matched the 8/0s that came in the Treasure Edition. So I picked up 2 of those on either side of the pearl. And on this circle, I'm going to be coming out of this one right here, and I'm going to go to the one that's opposite it. I'm going to go through the opposite direction of the opposite 8-0, just like that, and pull that through. And it should kind of rest in the center there. So now, coming out of that 8-0, I'm going to go back through the 11-0, the pearl, and the 11-0, just like that. When you're coming out of that 11-0, you want to go through the opposite end of the 8-0 that you were coming out of up here. And you could go ahead and go through the super duo, the bottom hole through the super duo right next to that 8-0. So just like that. And now I'm going to go up through that same super duo. All right, so here we are after we've gone up to the second hole in that super duo. And now we're just going to be picking up a pearl and going into the next super duo. All the way around. Just like that. So now I've picked up the last pearl and I'm going through that top of the last super duo, and I'm going to be going through that pearl. And this is what it should look like, but I'm going to go ahead and follow that thread path through the next super duo and coming out of the next pearl. Just like that. And now the last part going all the way around, I have 2 11-0s with a 3mm rondelle in the middle. And I'm going to be going from pearl to pearl. Just like that, all the way around. All right, so I have the last set here, and I'm going to go back through the pearl that I started with. And I'm going to go ahead and go through that 11-0 as well. And right now I'm coming out here. I'm going to work my way to this 3mm on this side. Go all the way through. And now I'm going to be coming out of this 3mm right here. All right, so here is what it looks like. And now we're going to add the wire guardian for the ear wire. So now I'm coming out of that 3mm. I'm going to pick up an 11-0. Just like that. Get my wire guardian and go through one side. Pull it all the way down just like that. Now I'm going to go down through the other side of the wire guardian. And you want to make sure that thread lands inside that wire guardian. Pick up another 11-0 and go through that 3mm bead. And it should look like that. All right, so now I'm going to go through that thread path again, through that 11-0, through the wire guardian, down the other side of the wire guardian, through that 11-0. And this time, before I go through that 3mm bead, I'm going to pick up one more 11-0 and go through there right there. Just like that. Pick up another 11-0 and go up and around one more time. Down the other side and through both of these 11-0s. Just like that. So now that guardian wire is on there pretty strong, but I want to go through the whole round again. So I'm going to go through that 3mm bead and I'm going to go all the way through the outside again. So like through this 11-0 down here, through the pearl, out the next 11-0, and just follow that path all the way around. And since we reinforced that wire guardian on there, 3 times, you want to make sure that it is reinforced from there to the rest of the earring. So we will meet back up after we follow this all the way around. All right, so we've gone all the way around, and I'm just going through these last few right here to the last pearl up here at the top, through that last 11-0. Got to make sure we make a full circle. And here's the last part I'm going to do. Through that 11-0, through this pearl. And now we're going to make a knot. So right here, out of this pearl, I'm going to go underneath till I get a little loop. Go through the loop. And pull it until it's nice and snug. And do that one more time to make a knot. And pull it nice and snug. Now I'm going to hold that out. cut it, and right where that little nub is, I'm gonna get my thread zap, push the button, melt it down. And there we have it. So now we're gonna quickly put on an ear wire. I'm gonna take my round nose pliers, open it, and you wanna make sure that it's facing the rounded side of the Super Duo, not the flat side. And then curl it closed. And here are the earrings that I designed from the Treasure Edition. Now on to my review of the Kit Edition. So the first pattern that I made in the Kit Edition for the month of May is the thick and thin herringbone necklace. And here is mine. I really do like this, and I will say this was super, super easy. The pattern was quite simple to follow, and I did watch the video version, not for the herringbone portion of it, and not even for the clasp, the cup button part of it, just to see how they attached this part here with the gemstones here at the front of it. I wanted to make sure that I had this attached correctly. And even with the video version, it was super, super simple. So I really enjoyed making this one. I've said on here before, I'm not a huge fan of cup buttons as clasps, but I went ahead and left this one on instead of changing it. But that's one thing I do like about their pattern. They're very easy to kind of tweak it, or if you want to put your own flair on it or your own style, you could do that as well. So, but this time I left the cup button clasp on there. So here is the first one, and now on to the next one. The second one I made was the wind chime cluster earrings, and there wasn't really a pattern to follow. It showed you how to make a loop on it and how to open jump rings. Other than that, there was a picture here at the top, but I will say this was probably the most simple one. Here's mine. And there really wasn't much to it other than making the loops. Of course, I made 2 for the pair of earrings. There we go. The one thing that I missed from looking at the picture, and I don't know how, there you go. There's 3 jump rings. 1, 2, 3 that you add all the loops to. And it's kind of hard to see that in the picture originally. I mean, of course, once you look a little closer, you can see it. But once I got that part, again, super, super simple to make. Did not need the video version at all. So here is the second one, on to the last one. And the last one I made was the patchwork herringbone strands bracelet. And here is mine. I will say this by far took the longest. This one probably took me 4 or 5 days. But like I said, my YouTube channel is not my career. I have a career outside of it, so I could only work on it in the evenings, and it was definitely a time-consuming piece. Very much so. Having said that, I do like the way that it came out. It doesn't really give you instructions on how to make each strand, or the pattern of each strand, I should say. It definitely gives you instructions on how to do the herringbone, but as far as the color order, it very much leaves that up to you as the creator. And so as you can see, I just try to do something a little different for each one to give it kind of that patchwork look. And I did use the video version of this one, especially on the ends. These 2 ends were pretty difficult for me. You use the square stitch to get them on, so that part wasn't difficult, but just kind of realizing how to connect it and how to connect each strand was, a little bit more difficult for me. But I do like the way that it turned out. I don't know that I'll be making any more of these, just because the amount of time that it takes to do it. But it really is nice. I like stackable bracelets, so I do enjoy multi-strand bracelets where you kind of have a matching set all together in one. One of my favorite styles of bracelets to do that. All right, so here's the last one. I'm gonna try to get everything on the screen. All right, so here's everything that I made from both the Treasure Edition and all the patterns in the Kit Edition. I really do like how these peyote stitch earrings turned out. I'm a huge fan of Potomac pearls. They just seem very high quality to me. I just think these are super cute. And I've said it before on my channel about the patterns. I really enjoy the kit edition. A lot of times it takes me out of my comfort zone, which when it comes to crafting and making jewelry, I do enjoy that. Things that I don't know that I would necessarily come up with on my own. I really enjoy putting together their patterns overall. So once again, if you are interested in the Potomac bead boxes, either the kit edition or the treasure edition, or like me, you're interested in both, I will have all the information in the description box below. I definitely encourage you to go check them out. Not only do they have amazing bead boxes, they have a fantastic website that has just about anything you can imagine for the jewelry making hobby. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos just like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind. And I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.